Yes, yes, it's happening again. You didn't think it was going to happen again. It's happening again. They didn't want us to do this again. So you know what we did? We did it again. Don't ever play yourself. So as y'all come into the live, this is Dre All Day. Facebook, what's going on? Instagram, what's going on? As y'all come in, y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. Put your name and location in the comment section. We're going to get into the proceedings this evening or afternoon, depending on where you're checking in from. So everybody, as y'all come in, tell me where you're checking in from. My name is Dre. I'm an Aquarius, and I'm checking in from Work on Your Game University in Miami, Florida. It's beautiful here. As y'all come in, tell me your name and location. Facebook, please don't be shy. Tell me your name and location. We're going to get into the conversation. Y'all see what the topic is. Y'all know what it's about. Y'all know what I'm going to do here. Let's see. M. Quintina with the first comment. Congratulations, Chris from Vancouver, Washington. What's good? We got a Coon checking in on Facebook. Mattia on Facebook. A Coon checking in from Calgary, Canada. As y'all come in, tell me names and location. We're getting started in less than 1 minute. We're not waiting for anybody. Y'all know what it is. I tell y'all this every day. To be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late. And to be late is to be forgotten. If you wait, you might as well not even show up because we left already anyway. We are getting started in 45 seconds. The topic here tonight, y'all see it. There are no unsolvable problems. Did I spell that right? Yes. There are no unsolvable problems. And I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you what to do if you feel like you have a situation, some conundrum, a quagmire that you haven't quite been able to figure out. I'm going to help you with that today. You are in the right place at the right time with the right person, and you're the right person because you're here right now. We're starting in 15 seconds. So I'm going to introduce myself. We ain't going to waste no more time. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, former 9-year professional basketball player, author of 25 books, creator, publisher, of over 7,000 YouTube videos, 7,000 articles, over 1,500 podcast episodes. I've done 4 TED Talks. I'm a keynote speaker, coach, consultant, trainer, creator of over 200 paid programs and over 1,000 live streams like this one that you're watching right now. It might be closer to 2,000 by this point. I created this whole framework called Work on Your Game, which is all about taking the pro athlete mindset and teaching how to apply it in your business, sport, and life. I teach that framework through everything that I just told you. Books is just one way that I teach that framework. I'm just showing you this book so you can see it visually, but I do it through speaking, coaching, consulting, these live streams, programs, podcasting, YouTube videos, a lot of different ways. I've created over 15,000 pieces of free content since 2005. That is the most of any human being on this planet. That is an absolute fact. And I'm telling you all that to tell you this. I'm telling you all that to tell you this. Today's topic is that there are no unsolvable problems. Now, why am I talking about this subject? The reason I'm talking about this because being that I've created so much content and people have come to know my name and know my framework, my philosophies, and what I'm about. It's giving me a pause connection. I don't know why. All right, the connection's on now. But for whatever reason, people have come to me and they'll tell me how they have some kind of problem, some kind of challenge, some situation that they are attempting to deal with, or maybe they have given up trying to deal with because they feel like they can't solve it. They feel like they can't figure it out. I got this situation, this is happening, and I don't know what to do. Or this is happening and I've tried this and this and I don't know what to do. Or I thought about this and I don't know what to do. People just get into these positions where they feel like they have a problem that they cannot solve. They can't do anything about it, so they're kind of stuck in the mud. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to try. They're at the end of their rope. So then they send me an email or they send me a DM and they tell me what the problem is. They ask me if there's a way, do I know anything? Do I have any ideas for them or what they can do to solve the issue that they're dealing with? I'm here to let you know that there is a way to solve that issue. And I'm going to tell you exactly how it's done. I'm going to give you how many points we got here today. A 4-step framework for understanding that there are no unsolvable problems. I want you to understand that this framework I'm going to give you here today, you can apply this to any problem that you think you have, that you think you can't solve. If you apply this framework, I guarantee you, you will figure out a solution. All you got to do is follow what I'm telling you. So let's get right into it. Point number 1 is this. I'll tell you a story first. When I was growing up, up through my college years, I used to play video games. I don't play video games anymore. I haven't played video games since I graduated from school. But when I did, growing up, I remember I was playing Madden football. I never was into the basketball video games. I never thought they were realistic enough. I liked the football video games a lot more than the basketball ones, even though I was playing basketball. But my dad used to play, and I remember during the school years, actually, let me tell y'all this. When I was in high school, during the school year, my parents had a rule. Really, my mom made up the rule, and my dad just okayed it. But my mom made up this rule that me and my sister were not allowed to go outside and play or play video games during the school week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the school nights, we were not allowed to play video games, and we couldn't go outside and play on those days. We had to come home from school, do our homework, and study, and that was it. We couldn't do anything else. So this is the thing. In the summertime, I gotten really good at playing Madden, the football video game. Y'all know the Madden game. I think they still make Madden. I don't even know. But I got really good at playing it in the summer because I was playing it every day, all the time. I got good. Then, during the school year, when I wasn't allowed to play as much, I could only play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and like holidays. My dad started playing the game. I don't even know how he got into it, but he started playing the Madden video game. I guess because he just needed something to divert his attention, whatever. He started playing the Madden video game, right? So he was playing 7 days a week while I was only playing 3 days a week. So he started catching up. He started actually getting better at playing the Madden video game, right? So then I go through the whole school year. I can only play a couple days a week. My dad's playing every day. So we would play against each other sometimes. And finally, when the school year ended, I'm playing against my dad in Madden. I knew he had gotten a lot better. And while we're playing, I could see he got better. He had more of a chance to beat me. Before, he had no chance. But he started having a chance because he had, more than double my amount of time to practice. And he said to me, this is what he said to me. This is the point that I want you to take from this. Because he would play the game, and I guess he called himself studying the game. So he really learned how to play the game and all that. Baby, is there still peanut butter in there? I was going to use that. I was going to use it for my banana tonight. Now, see, my girl throwing my peanut butter in the trash. And I wasn't even done with it. Anyway, interrupting my life. But anyway, the point is this. In Madden, the video game, he said there's a defense for every offense. Because he had been playing it. And again, like I said, I guess he called himself studying the game. So he's like, I learned that any offense that the other team plays, there is a defense that can stop it. There is some way that you can figure it out. I'm telling you that to tell you this, not so you can learn how to play video games or that you can get better at playing Madden, but you can apply that to a video game if you wish. The point is this: every situation that you get into in life has for it an ideal outcome and an ideal solution that maybe you just haven't figured out yet. It does exist. You just haven't figured it out yet. There is a fix for everything. There is no offense that does not have a defense. People thought remember when the Golden State Warriors won 73 games and they were killing everybody, and Steph Curry was unanimous MVP, and they were up 3-1 on the Cavs, and everybody said, well, this series is over. Nobody calls on Instagram. Oh, yeah, we're back. And they were like, the Warriors are unstoppable. Nobody can beat these guys. They're just unbeatable. They're too good. They're going to go down as the greatest team in history. People start talking about it. Will they be the greatest team in history? Are they better than the Lakers? Are they better than the Bulls? They hadn't even won the fourth game yet, and we all know what happened next. The Warriors blew a 3-1 lead. I'm telling you that to tell you this. There is no situation in your life that is just unsolvable. There is no opponent who is unbeatable. There is no person who does not have a weakness. Everybody has a weakness. Everybody can be beat. Every team can be stopped. Every offense has a defense. Every situation has a solution. Now, you just might not have figured it out, but what you need to start with, here's the starting point of this whole thing, is you got to start with the belief that the solution does exist. The only issue is you have not yet found it. You just haven't come upon it yet. It's not that there is no solution, you just haven't gotten to it yet. If you get to the belief in your mind, you allow your mind to tell you that there is no solution and there's no chance you can fix things and you're just stuck and it's over and you're just destined to lose, well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to lose. You're going to fail. You're going to fall apart. Nothing's going to work in your favor. But when you have the belief that something out there can fix this problem, you're going to keep trying, you're going to keep working, and you will eventually figure it out as long as you believe you can figure it out. Challenge a lot of people have is that they don't believe they can figure things out, and then they, of course, what happens? They don't figure things out because they don't think they can. The belief is the starting point of you getting to an outcome, getting to the outcome that you want to get to, even though you don't know what that outcome is. Point number 2. For those who came in the middle of this, the topic is there are no unsolvable problems. Number 2, the real question then is this. Since we know that there is a solution to every situation, the question that you really need to ask yourself is not, is there a solution? Because there is, I just told you. The real question is, how long and how much are you willing to work on the problem before you give up? What is your IQ? And people think when I say IQ, I'm talking about your intelligence quotient, like how smart you are. No, it's not what I'm talking about when I say your IQ. I heard a business guy say this to me when I was in college. He said, your IQ is not how smart you are. Your IQ is, what is your I quit? How much can you take? How far can you be pushed? How many times can you try and fail before you quit? Some people's IQ is 2 days. They try something for 2 days. If it doesn't work, they quit. Some people's IQ is 0. They don't even try. They just think about it and they quit. Some people's IQ is 2 years. They'll try something for 2 years. If it doesn't work, they quit. But what is your IQ? That's the question. Not about anybody else. What's yours? How much effort will you put into something before you just give up and say, forget it. This ain't going to work. I'm tired. I don't know. I'm not getting the result. Forget it. I quit. And you just give up and never go after it again. What is your I quit? And that's a question that you need to answer within yourself, not to anybody else. How long are you willing to work on a problem? How many attempts are you willing to give before you just give up the effort and stop even trying to find a solution? If you have point number 1 firmly entrenched in your mind that there is a solution out there that you just haven't found yet, then you shouldn't even be worried about this. You shouldn't be worried about this point. This point should be completely irrelevant to you. How long are you willing to work on it? Your answer should be as long as it takes until I get a solution. Doesn't matter. I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to just keep working on it until I get there. Y'all know 50 Cent, his first album was Get Rich or Die Trying. He knew there was a way to get rich. He was either going to get rich or he was going to die trying, but it wasn't, I'm going to try to get rich for a year and then I'm going to quit if it doesn't work. Or I'm going to try to get rich for 6 months. Or I'm going to try this one album and if that doesn't work, then I'm going to give it up. No, it was I'm going to keep doing it or I'm going to die trying to do it. That's the mindset that you need to have if you truly believe that the solution exists. A lot of people don't really believe the solution exists, so they give up. I heard Tony Robbins use this example, so I'm going to give him credit for it. But he says, if any of you have kids or any of you has been around a really young baby that's like crawling or just barely walking, how many times do you let the baby try to walk before you tell the baby, no, give it up, you got to quit, you can't try to walk anymore? All right, do you let the baby try to walk for 3 days and then say, all right, baby, you're not allowed to try to walk anymore because obviously you're a failure at it? You let the baby try to walk for a year and say, all right, you've been trying to walk for a year. All you can do is stand up. Obviously, this is not your thing. Give it up and go do something else with your life. No, that makes no sense. It's funny. It's even silly when you think about it, right? But this is what a lot of people do in their own lives. They try things for a day or 2 or 3, and then they quit because they haven't become excellent at it yet. Or they try something for a year, and because they haven't become amazing, they haven't become one of the best in the world at it, they give up. Or they're trying something for 2 weeks, then they look to the left of them and to the right of them, and they see somebody else who's doing it better than them, and somebody else who's doing it 10 levels above them, and they're like, damn, I'm trying the same thing, and they're way better than me. I might as well quit because I'll never be as good as him. I'll never be as good as her. And then they quit, and then they never try again, and all that potential that they have within them to be great, they lost it because they quit. Because their IQ was very small. So what is your IQ? That's, again, a question you got to answer to yourself. Point number 3, for those who are just coming in the middle of this topic, is there are no unsolvable problems. Point number 3, what's the definition of a problem? We should talk about that. So we all got to be on the same page. I like to define these words sometimes when I talk about it because people use these words interchangeably and they sometimes can be relative terms. Definition of a problem, according to the Google Dictionary: a matter or situation regarded as unwelcome or unharmful and needing to be dealt with and overcome. That's what a problem is. Unwelcome, harmful, needs to be dealt with, needs to be overcome. So I want you to notice the second half of that definition. Second half of the definition says it needs to be dealt with and overcome. So it's the yin and the yang of the universe. The reason that a problem exists is because it needs to be dealt with and overcome. The reason we have light because we got dark. We got rainy days and we got sunny days. Right? We have sleep and we have being awake. Problems only exist because they have solutions. It makes sense, right? The only way you can have a problem is if there's a solution. See, if you have a situation for which there is no solution, then it's not a problem. It's a circumstance. See, a circumstance might be that it's extremely humid in South Florida at this time of year. That's not a problem because I can't solve it. I can't change the fact that it's humid. Now, I could fly away or drive somewhere or travel out of town and I won't have to deal with the humidity, but I can't change the fact that it is humid. I can't change the weather. So the weather is not a problem. The weather is a circumstance. So I got to figure out a way to work within the circumstance or work around the circumstance or something, but I can't change the circumstance. I can't solve the fact that it's humid. Now, if my problem was, I can't make an open jump shot, that's a problem because I can fix it by working on my game and getting better at making an open jump shot. I can fix that. Things that you can fix, things that you can solve, things that can be changed, those are problems because they have solutions. The things that you cannot solve, that you cannot change, they are just fixed. They're there, and there's nothing you can do about them. You just have to figure out a way to work around them or work within them. Those are not problems. Those are circumstances. All right, you just got to learn to work with the circumstance. Circumstance might be where you're from, or how tall you are, or what your nationality is, or who your parents are, or whatever. Any fixed, the weather outside, that's a fixed circumstance. Can't do nothing about that. Don't designate a circumstance as a problem, because then you're going to try to solve it. You won't be able to solve it, and then you're going to give yourself a reason to quit when you shouldn't even be trying to solve it in the first place. And make sure you're not designating problems as circumstances, because the things that can be changed and altered are problems because they have solutions. The only reason a problem exists, according to his own definition, is it needs to be dealt with and overcome. If you could deal with and overcome something, there's a problem, and there's only a problem because there is a solution. All right, that's the balance of problems are solutions. The balance of night is day. The balance of being awake is sleep. The balance of life is death. All right, there's a balance to all of it. It's the yin and the yang of what's going on in the universe. So understand that every time you have a problem, it only exists because there is somehow a solution out there, whether it exists or we're waiting for, whether the solution already exists or it is waiting for somebody to come up with a solution for it to be discovered. Right now, we got the COVID-19 virus going around. Right now, that's a problem because there is a solution. We just haven't figured it out yet. All right, because if it was just an unsolvable thing, then we'd be in big trouble. But it is solvable. We're just working on it right now. We're waiting for scientists to come up with something that can solve that problem so we can get on with or get as close back to normal as we can. Who knows what it's going to be after this? But it's a problem because there's a solution. If it's not a solution, if there's no solution, it's just what is. All right, the daylight is what is. It's humid outside, that's what is. Sleeping and being awake, those are problems. Those are not problems because you can't cancel them out. You can't cancel out the need to sleep. Okay? Biologically, you need it. They are what it is. If you frame something as a problem, that means by definition it has a solution. So next time you call yourself having a problem, there's a solution out there. Maybe you haven't found it yet. Maybe you need some help. Maybe you need to consult an expert. Maybe you need to go call somebody. Maybe you need to read a book. Maybe you need to go Google it. But there is a solution out there. You just got to find it. You haven't found it yet. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It means you haven't found it. All right. Has somebody else in the history of the world ever had the same problem as you and they figured it out? If the answer is yes, then, or your best judgment says yes, probably, then that means you got work to do. That means you need to figure out the answer. You need to go find out who that person is and what their solution was, and then you need to execute on that solution. Do you understand? Now, the problem itself can be solved. Again, it wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't. Anoint yourself as the one who's going to find and create the solution. And point number 4, the topic is there are no unsolvable problems. Point number 4, man is measured by the size of the problem which can slow him down. And when I say man, I'm not talking about males. I'm talking about man as in humans. Man is measured by the size of the problem that can stop him. So you who has a problem that you can't figure out or that you haven't solved quite yet, or you don't know what to do about it, or you feel like you're lost, or you feel like you're stuck, or you feel like you're at the end of your rope, or you're about to give up, or you're about to hit your IQ, I quit. Understand that you will be measured not by the size of your accomplishment. You'll be measured by the size of the problem that stopped you. So how far can you go before you get to a problem that just stops you in your tracks? Some people get this far, they hit a problem, and this is as far as they go because they can't solve that problem, so this is pretty much their life right here. Some people get this far, and they stop there. Some people get this far, some people just keep going. Some people are still going up because they don't allow problems to stop them. Now, the question is not about some people. The question is about you. What size problem stops you from going to where you want to go? What size problem are you allowing to cause you to quit, to give up, to throw up your hands, to stop trying, to stop putting forth effort, to just start thinking that there's nothing you can do, to sit in the corner and just do nothing because you feel like this problem is just stopping me? What's the size of the problem that's keeping you from getting where you want to go? The problem that can stop you is basically the ceiling on your life. All right, all y'all heard of the glass ceiling? Okay, that's your glass ceiling, and it's bulletproof glass. All right, so you can't just break through it. All right, it's bulletproof glass. You can see past it. You can see people who are above it, but you can't go past it until you figure out that problem. The problem that can stop you is the measure of who you are as a person. Period. So how far can you go before you get stopped? Somebody who's listening to me right now, you got a problem that you haven't figured out yet, and you're allowing it to stop you from doing what you want to do, being who you want to be as a person, and it's going to keep stopping you until you figure it out, until you decide to do something about it. When you decide to do something about it, the actions will have a new spirit and a new energy behind them, and those same actions you were doing before will produce different results simply because you changed the way you were being, you changed your energy, then that will change your results. That's the be, do, have principle in life, in real life, act it out. Change your energy, it will change your actions, and it will change your results. Simple as that. If you keep doing the same actions over and over again, you're going to keep getting the same results. Y'all already heard the definition of insanity. Change the energy first, then do that action. You're going to get a completely different outcome. That's the way that it works in all of life. I talked about that in this book right here, and I talked about it in one of these other books I got in front of me that I'm going to tell you about in just a moment. So now I'm going to recap these points, and I'm going to take questions. If somebody got a question, you can go ahead and post it in the comment section, and I'm going to get to it as soon as I get through this. So the topic is, again, there are no unsolvable problems. Point number one. My dad was playing Madden video game, and he said he figured out that there's a defense for every offense. And the point of that is this: every situation has a solution and an ideal outcome that can be achieved. Every situation has one. So anything that you're facing that you think is unstoppable is not unstoppable. Any person you think is unbeatable, they are not unbeatable. Any situation that you just can't handle, it is handleable. Maybe not by you, but it can be handled somehow, some way. Your job is to develop the belief that every situation has a solution within it. You just got to keep finding it. Point number two. The real question then becomes, how long and how much are you going to work on a problem to find its solution? Because if you have already entrenched point number one in your head, that you had to believe that there is a solution, you ain't even worried about this one. But a lot of people have very low IQs. Not IQ as in how smart they are, but I quit. How far will you go on something? How much will you try? What type of problems can you run into before you quit, before you give up, before you stop trying, before you start complaining and whining to the world instead of doing what you can to take control over your life and take initiative in your situation? Point number three, definition of a problem: a matter or situation regarded as unwelcome or unharmful and needing to be dealt with and overcome. Notice the second half of that definition: needing to be dealt with and overcome. If it's a problem, that means it can be dealt with and it can be overcome. Do you understand? If you can't deal with it and you can't overcome it, if it's impossible to be dealt with, then it's not a problem, it's a circumstance. The fact that it's humid outside is a circumstance. I can't change it. I can't deal with it. I can't overcome it. I can't do anything about it. It is what it is. All right. But if I can't make an open jump shot, that's a problem because I can fix it. I can do something about it. I can overcome that issue. You can't overcome the fact that it's going to be nighttime in an hour or two. And it's going to be daytime 12 hours from now all over again. You can't overcome that. You can't change it. You can't alter that. But things you can overcome, change, alter, and do something about, those are problems, and problems all have solutions by the very definition of the word. Point number four, man is measured by the size of the problem, which can slow him down. So the bigger the problem you can handle, the bigger the person you become. The smaller the problem that slows you down, the smaller the person you are. You want to be a leader? Then you got to be able to overcome a bigger problem than everybody who's following you. Now, that's what makes you the leader. The fact that your belief that you can handle a problem is bigger than anybody else's belief for handling that problem. That's why they're willing to follow you, because you got the belief that they don't have. If you want to be small, all you got to do is let a small problem stop you. All right, the size of the problem that can stop you is the glass ceiling on your life. And it's a bulletproof glass ceiling. All right, bomb-proof glass ceiling. It's a glass ceiling because you can see it. You can see the ceiling. You can't get through it. And you can look up through the glass and you can see a bunch of other people who are ahead of you and above you who are dealing with much bigger problems than what you're dealing with. You can see them. You can see that there's a level to get to that's higher than where you're at, but you are not allowed to pass through it until you solve the problem that you're dealing with right now. Handle this one, then you can move on to the next one. You can't handle the little job. You can't handle the big job. You'll never get a chance for the big job. The size of the problem that can stop you is the size of the person that you will be in your life. So if anybody has a question, go ahead and post it in the comments. I saw a couple comments come through, so I'm going to address all questions. First, let me tell you about these books. Both of these books are free. If you didn't know, I will ship either of these books or both of these books worldwide to your doorstep, anywhere you live. All you got to do is what I'm about to tell you. First of all, let me tell you what these books are. This right here is The Mirror of Motivation, the self-guide to self-discipline. I wrote this book so that you can start being the person who you need to be in your life, so you can do the things that you need to do and that you want to do, that you've been talking about doing, but you haven't actually done them, so you can live the life that you want to live and have the things that you want to have. If that's the kind of life that you want, if that sounds like you, what I just described, then what you need to do is go to mirrorofmotivation.com, Claim your free copy of this book. While supplies last, we will ship this book to you worldwide. The physical book, anywhere that you live, you have a physical address, we will ship this book. Yes, we ship international. Of course, we ship in the United States. That's what it is. If you want to live the life that most people don't live, which means you'll be doing what 99% of people never do, which is actually being who you really want to be and having the results you really want to have, go to mirrorofmotivation.com. This book right here is the Overseas Basketball Blueprint. This book is a niche book for a specific audience. This is for people who want to play professional basketball overseas. If you want to play basketball overseas, you get this book. Okay? If you want to fly from New York to LA, you got to get a plane ticket. You want to play basketball overseas, you get this book. All right? You want to be a Christian, you go to church and you read the Bible. Right? If you want to clear up your skin, you drink water. All right? If you want to put down the swelling on your body, you get some ice on you. If you want to play basketball overseas, you get the Overseas Basketball Blueprint. That's the way that it works. This book will help you know everything that I had to learn coming out of a Division III school where I walked on with no agent, no scouts, no connections, no prospects, no information, no nothing. I hustled my way into a 9-year pro basketball career. How I did it, all the trial and error that you don't have to go through. I trimmed all the error and all the mistakes. I made sure you know about the mistakes so you don't make them. And I told you all the right things you need to do to have a pro basketball career in this book right here. Even if you have no connections, nobody knows you, you have no game film, maybe you didn't even play college ball, this book will help you play basketball overseas. It's called the Overseas Basketball Blueprint. It's 237 pages. You can get this book free by going to balloverseas.com. That's balloverseas.com. Everybody knows how to spell that, right? balloverseas.com. Overseas Basketball Blueprint. This one is mirrormotivation.com. Now, all that being said, I'm going to address whatever we got going on in the comments here. And the topic, once again, is there are no unsolvable problems. ARB 14, what's going on? Solutions Turk, was good. Eyeball says people who think there is no solution to a problem will never reach their max potential. That's true. Nick 23 Wood, was good. Trinity says my order for your books was shipped in the beginning of this month. Do you have any idea when it will be delivered? I live outside the U.S. Well, the way that shipping works outside the U.S., they don't give us tracking. So they will tell us that they're shipping it, and depends on what platform shipped it, but they'll tell us when to expect it, but they can't give us an exact date. That's just the way that they do it. For us to get tracking on an international package, we would have to charge you a whole lot more for shipping, and it'd be probably more than you would want to pay. Trust me. But we will give you an estimate. So if we send you an email, we tell you when to expect the shipment to arrive. So check your email for email from us, team@workonmygame.com. They'll tell you when to expect your shipment. Nick 23 says, what do I need to play overseas? You need the Overseas Basketball Blueprint, which I just told you about right here, balloverseas.com. Zaki to the door says, great insight. I appreciate you. Trade on Purpose was good. You're welcome. I'm glad I gave you what you needed today. That you're in the right place at the right time, like I said. Yes, IQ, I quit. That's what IQ means. Eyeball says, did you always have the right mindset? Is it something you had to develop? No, it's something I developed. I wrote about that in this book right here. Work on your game. This is my whole framework, this whole philosophy. I condensed it down to 250 pages. I explained to you how I developed that mindset and that framework through this right here. You can get that at workonyourgamebook.com. I got so many domain names, sometimes I forget them. Actually, no, I don't forget them. I just say some of them so many times, I got to remember. Workonyourgamebook.com is how you get this if you don't have it yet, for anybody who's looking. Nick says, at 5'8", what do I need to become? What do I need to master to play overseas? Well, Nick, first of all, you need to get this book, which I just told you, balloverseas.com. Secondly, what you would do is go to hoophandbook.com. If you're looking for skill-specific help, like actual skills on the court, dribbling, shooting, passing, go to hoophandbook.com. That's where my basketball training programs are at. So if you want to train the way that I train, go to hoophandbook.com. We got on the court and off the court training specifically for basketball players. It sounds like that's what you need. Christy Dawn, 1124, what's going on? How you been? Trini says, what percentage of overseas players end up playing in the NBA at some point in their lives? I have no idea. You can Google that. What's the most I ever made playing overseas? Ask my accountant. Nick 23 Wood. All right, sell that. Dad Tuba says, were there problems stopping you before you went into pro basketball? Well, Problems, yeah. The problem was I didn't know anybody. I just said I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any connections. I didn't have any game film. I had played at a D3 school, which a lot of D3 athletes don't play pro sports. These were all problems, but I solved them all. And then I wrote a book about it. And once I solved them, and I made a career out of it. I wrote it. It's called Overseas Basketball Blueprint. You can get it for free by going to balloverseas.com. That's how I handled that situation. Christy Dawn, what's good? Where you at right now? Send me Christy, hit me in the DM or the PM, wherever you at. Instagram, Facebook, whatever. ARB says, how's my quarantine, man? I mean, I ain't really quarantined. I mean, I walk outside. You're going to make sure you read that. Yes, definitely read it and go to hoophandbook.com too. T. Shakur said, is the book online? Well, it's a physical book. At balloverseas.com, you're going to get the physical book. There is an option to get the bonus package, which is the physical, the digital, and the audio package all in one by going to balloverseas.com. Or if you want to get the Kindle version or the iBooks version, you can, but you got to pay full price for the book. If you want the book free, the offer is at balloverseas.com. Eyeball, so you think everybody who follows every step in the blueprint will play overseas? Well, it depends. Can you actually play? This book does not guarantee that you're going to play overseas. I can't guarantee that anything's going to happen to you. All right, you still got to have some game. All right, if you can't play, all right, ain't no book going to change the fact that you can't play. All right, I'm not responsible for your game. If you can't play, you can't play. All right, I can't change that. You're responsible for that. So if that's what you're asking, that is what you asked, and the answer is I ain't guaranteeing you nothing. I guarantee I'll tell you everything you need to do to play overseas because I did it. Now, if you have no game, then your lack of game is going to be the problem. It's not going to be that the book left anything out. Jonathan says, great live stream as always. Keep speaking facts. We keep listening and applying. I appreciate that. Glad to hear it. All right, so if anybody has any other questions, I'll take one or two more questions before we wrap it up. Question on Facebook said, point number 4, you become, the measure of a man is the size of the problems that can slow him down. That's point number 4. If you let small problems slow you down, you're a small person. If you handle big problems, you become a big person. The bigger the problem you can handle, the bigger the person you become. That's point number 4. Mirrorofmotivation.com for this book right here, the self-guide to self-discipline, so you can be, do, and have what you want to have in your life, which 99% of people never do. 99% of people are drifters, letting the wind, wherever the wind blows, that's where they go. They have no focus, no direction. You want to be different from them, different from most people, go to mirrorofmotivation.com. This right here is the Overseas Basketball Blueprint. Only get this book if you want to play professional basketball overseas. Okay? This book is not for everybody. This is for the people who want to play professional basketball overseas. If that's you, get this book at balloverseas.com. I've been talking about this book. I don't understand people be asking me questions about this. Like, look, if you want to play overseas, get this book. Okay? There's nothing to question. All right? There's no trivia here. Get the book. It's 237 pages. A guy from a D3, walk on, no agent, no scouts, no prospects, no game film, and I played 9 years of professional basketball. I mean, what else do you need to know? balloverseas.com. Get this damn book if you want to play pro ball overseas. I don't know how many different ways I got to say it. Let's see. ARB says, do you got a fitness program that's for normal people, not athletes? No, I'm not a normal person, so why would I make a program for normal people? I'm sorry. So if you're a normal person, I'm sorry, I don't have anything for you as far as fitness goes or mindset. Because actually, normal people wouldn't even go get this book, even though I'm giving it to you for free. Normal people don't even invest in themselves in the time to read a book, let alone listen to a live stream. So nobody who's listening to this is a normal person. Normal people right now, they on TikTok and scrolling through videos. T. Shakur says, when did you hit your growth spurt? I don't know. I couldn't answer that. I don't know. Eyeball said, how are you staying active during this quarantine? I still exercise the same way. Nothing's really changed. I can't go to the gym. I can exercise at home. I can run outside, ride my bike. Nothing really changed overall. All right, so everybody, that's that. Everyone, mirrorofmotivation.com, balloverseas.com. If you got both of these books already and you need more reading material because you're stuck in the house, workonyourgamebook.com. This is hardcover book. Workonyourgamebook.com. I put my whole framework, the whole Work on Your Game philosophy is covered in this book, 250 pages. Here's the table of contents right here. Yes, this book is written by me. There's my picture in the back just in case you thought I was lying. Workonyourgamebook.com. Get this if you already read everything else. I got 25 books. I only show you 3 because if I told you all of them, I'd probably confuse you. But stay tuned. All right, you'll know about everything in due time. Work on your game. Wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Don't shake anybody's hand. If you do, don't touch your eyes, nose, and mouth. Work on your game. We'll be here tomorrow. We out of here. Dre all day.